Hi, this is Peter McLaughlin, and today I want to talk about how hypnosis is like LSD and how that is connected to past life regression. So in order to do this, I first need to describe briefly what hypnosis actually is. So hypnosis, like LSD, is an altered state of consciousness. But unlike LSD, hypnosis is a very natural state. And you don't even need a hypnotist to achieve it, and you certainly don't need a drug to get to that state. In fact, you move in and out of that state all the time, you just don't know it. Let me give you 3 quick examples of when you have likely been in hypnosis and you didn't really even know it. Example number 1, you're driving your car, you're thinking about something in your life. It could be your boyfriend, or it could be your wife, or it could be your boss, or it could be a movie you saw last night. You pull into your driveway and you think, oh my God, I can't remember driving the last 15 minutes. And you think you're suffering from early onset of Alzheimer's. Example number 2, you're watching television and you even use the language, or you've heard people use the language, I want to veg out in front of the TV, or I want to zone out in front of the TV. Kind of hypnotic language, isn't it? And someone calls your name and you don't answer them. They call your name again, you don't answer them. They call your name a 3rd time, and finally you break out of something, a hypnotic trance, and you look back at them and you say, I'm sorry, what did you say? Example number 3 is you're playing sports. And you're totally involved in your sport of choice, and 2 days later you're in the shower, and you look down at your leg and you see, oh my God, I have a huge bruise on my leg. I wonder where that came from. And you go, that must have come from when I was playing basketball 2 days ago. Well, why didn't you feel the pain that was associated with the blow large enough, intense enough to create that kind of contusion? The answer is that you were in a hypnotic state when you were playing basketball. Here's the best way, in my opinion, of thinking about what hypnosis is. It's like the difference between going from a large aperture of awareness, like a huge glass window, down to looking through something the diameter of a drinking straw. And that laser beam focus that's contained within the diameter of that drinking straw is very powerful. But it also means that certain things, like the act of driving, like when you're watching television and somebody's voice, or pain even, can be outside the diameter of the straw, and when you're inside that diameter, it's like you don't experience it. It's like it doesn't happen. Now here's how hypnosis is like LSD. When people do LSD, they talk about taking an LSD trip. They have a hallucinogenic trip. And my understanding of a hallucinogenic trip always used to be they're seeing, feeling, experiencing something that's not really there. Well, I have come to change my opinion on this. I think what's actually happening is that the drug, the LSD, is actually helping them part a gossamer thin veil that separates all of us human beings from everything else in the universe. Now, I can't prove this to you, but here's what I can say. Consider this for a minute. You and I see a component of a very large light spectrum called visible light. And if I were to ask you, okay, so what percentage of the light spectrum are you able to see? What percentage of the light spectrum is visible light? The answer is amazing to me. The answer is 0.0035%. You and I see almost nothing with our eyeballs. We don't see the radio waves in this room, or in the room in which you are. You don't see the television signals or the microwaves. You can't taste them, you can't hear them. Your devices can, but you can't. What else could be in this room right now? What else could be in the room where you are that we can't detect with our 5 puny senses? This is what I think is happening. And the cool thing about hypnosis is that in my experience, clients are able to get to the exact same place without using a hallucinogenic drug. And let's face it, when you use a hallucinogenic drug, Unfortunately, right now, you're breaking the law. And you lose control. In hypnosis, you never really lose control. At least the kind of hypnosis I practice. And for people who are having a past life experience, it's almost like there's a split screen. On the left side, for example, they know they're sitting in the chair in my office. On the right side, they may be 400 years ago in a past lifetime. And this split screen, in terms of the percentage, if you will, that they are experiencing the past life or they're experiencing the present life, could vary. So when we start the session, it could be 90% over here, 10% over here. And as we go along, that could flip over, and it could feel like they're really here in this past lifetime, although part of them is always tethered to the present. And this is a way I also think it probably diverges from hallucinogenics. Again, more control for the explorer, more control for the client that's going through a past life regression or going through an experience of meeting their spirit guide than a person who's under the influence of a drug. Some of those drugs, according to my research, can last for 8 to 10 hours. In hypnosis, a person can emerge anytime they want. So hypnosis, in my opinion, is almost like this God-given gift that we all have to access the divine, to go beyond the limitations of our 5 physical senses without having to go under the influence of a drug. And I'm not saying that there's fundamentally anything wrong with those drugs, provided that people are using them in a responsible manner with people that are with them that know what they're doing. Another interesting thing about these hallucinogens is that science, Western medical science, is figuring out that they are actually helping people with things like alcoholism, with severe depression, even with things like PTSD. And many of these drugs are in phase 3 trials right now. And who knows, maybe they'll be legalized at some point because they have such a powerful effect on people. And I would submit the reason that they have such a powerful effect on people is that the person experiencing what we're calling a hallucination is actually getting outside of their egoic mind. They're getting outside of their physical body. And they're beginning to understand how they fit into the universe. They're accessing spiritual wisdom, like a person that takes ayahuasca in South America is meeting with Mother Ayahuasca. And there are so many stories of people who have those experiences whose lives are changed. Well, again, with hypnosis, I feel like that's exactly what people are saying to me in my hypnosis practice when I'm working with people with past life regression. They're able to access past lifetimes. They're able to access spirit guides. They're able to access the lifetime between lifetimes. They're able to meet with deceased relatives. They're able to forgive old grievances and be forgiven. And in the course of all of this, their lives are transformed. So as always, I know I raised a lot of things here today. I'm sure there are a lot of questions. And if you have any, please be sure to put those questions in the comments section and I'll do my best to answer them for you. And if you like this video, please be sure to like it, subscribe to my channel, and share with your network. And if you want to be alerted of upcoming videos, just click that bell notification icon. And we'll see you in the next video.